Hello, 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 everybody. Let me put some music on and I'm going to get my coffee for Saturday. So let's start in a few seconds. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see who is there. I have a few people here. Hello, hello. Hi, Kylie. Hi, Steve. Hi, San Gerard. Karen, Maria. We have some new people over here. Good morning, good morning. So let me just zoom this out. I think this is a little bit too blurry. I want it to be closer, but apparently that's not how it works. My coffee is here with me. And my pad is over here, so we can start soon. How is everybody? Saturday. Hopefully everybody enjoys the coffee together with me. This is like a special pleasure doing that. So okay, let me see. Why am I getting notification that I have two messages but I only have one message? I'm so confused. Google doesn't know how to count anymore. That is a new one. This is my first coffee of a day, so I am not clear what's going on with my inbox, but never mind inbox right now. Let's start this. This is a quartz. Both of them are quartzes. I love quartzes, guys. I mean, this is like my thing. This one is called smoky quartz. Smoky quartz is really good for absorbing negative energy. And negativity sometimes shows up in my head. I'm one of those people who always sees a glass half empty. I'm sorry to say that. And I'm rather always kind of like being on the side of an error rather than give you like fruity kind of like hopes. But this is helping me to kind of like moderate this, to say, look, you know, yes, I'm seeing this, but at the same time seeing this. So that kind of like gives me this ability to kind of like be in the middle. This is a pink rose quartz, right? This is a really good emotionally, so I really connect this. And this is a clear quartz. And this is my Merkaba, which I can see actually has a tiny teeny bitty damage over here. It's not a perfect Merkaba, but this is basically a meditation that I do over here. Yeah, week was so freaking intense. I honestly did not count on it. My landlord started to do the works on the building, and the whole building was shaking. They were cutting down some cement, and I really couldn't do the readings. They would stop at 6. By that point I was like so irritated. So I actually have to work this weekend because the crew is not here on the weekend, and hopefully I'm going to catch up. But I think quite a few people that I spoke to also had really turbulent weekend. Now we are getting into harvest moon. When is it? Tomorrow, I think, right? Full moon in Pisces. Whoa, that's going to be emotional. Pisces are going to feel like they're like getting over the major hurdle, but the rest of us are going to feel, oh, whoa, what hit me? So this can be really equally intense, because the most intense moons are Aquarian and Pisces moons, right? Being the two last signs, right? So from the comments, oh my gosh, I'm hearing this, that you guys also had it. And greetings from Netherlands. Hello, hello, hello. I have a cousin living there in Utrecht. Actually, two cousins. They decided to leave the country. And so let's see. Hi, Celie Jane. Feeling weird. Definitely new energy around me. But are you guys feeling nervous? Are you guys feeling agitated? Are you feeling, oh my god, I want to express myself and I'm getting nowhere? Or you're talking to people and it's like you speak in different language, they're not able to get it. This is kind of like how the last week was for me. So well, let's see what's going to happen this week. Maybe I should do during the week, and it is not something I can promise because I already have all these readings that I want to catch up. And so from the readings that I did, the next one is Aquarius. Actually, the order that I do today is going to be exactly the order of the monthlies that are going to be finished. So let's start. Now, I have 11 of you guys. So, hey Andy, it was so good to get your message. Thank you so much. Oh, by the way, where is freaking Nat the cat? Nat the cat got engaged. Nat, are you around? Are you around? And she says, oh, look at that reading. And 2 days after the reading, I got engaged. Isn't this lovely? It's really, really lovely. So I love to hear these messages. And like, I mean, the connection that people have is really, really amazing, right? So let's see what I was thinking initially when I was preparing for the reading. I said, okay, of course, this is cat tarot. I have to have cat cards. And then I said to myself, well, do I? I can maybe do Lenormand reading. But Lenormand reading doesn't really give you that emotional aspect as much, right? And then, of course, I like my gypsies for clarification, because most of you here ask basically emotional things. So tell me, guys, what you think. What does sound right? And let's not make this be too long, because you want me to go back and work on my monthlies, right? So we can do that. So what do you guys think? Should I do Lenormand and Gypsy, or should I do Tarot and Gypsy? That's kind of like where I am down to. So your take. Let's see. Oh gosh, you're ignoring me. That's completely ignoring me. How about, like, I know, like, there's a delay of a few minutes over here. So let's see where we get. I'm going to have a sip of coffee until I get your opinion. If I don't get your opinion, I'm just simply going to make executive decision, you know, like become chariot and kind of like, oh no, I'm doing this. We have a weird weather in Toronto. It's kind of like cooled down and it looks weird, and it says 13 degrees, and then we go out, it's like short sleeves, so it's really, really, really kind of difficult. So okay, nobody's saying nothing, so I think I'm going to go with my standard thing over here. So we're going to go tarot and gypsy for clarification over here. Yeah, Andy, I am seeing over here the red for some reason, showing that I have like very unhealthy stream health. So let me try to see why is this. I'm going to try to refresh it on my end. You guys can try to refresh it on your end. And let me see, is my, yeah, I'm connected to my really high speed, so it shouldn't be the problem over here. So let's see. It's still red, and I really hope it's going to improve. Yes, Andy, oh my gosh, you have the Dorian. That's right, in New Brunswick. I was reading just in the morning in bed, New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island and Newfoundland and Nova Scotia. These are like all our eastern provinces, guys, that are getting storm, I believe, too, right? So hopefully everything will be fine, right? Oh, thank you, Steve. Norman, look at Silly Jill Norman. Gypsy Tarot, please. Well, Silly Jane, what is your sign? Tell me what is your sign. And that way in your sign I'm going to use Lenormand. Well, this is, I guess, general. And Barbie's not here. Usually Barbie is the one saying, I'm in cat, you know, let's do the doors. She might show up. In that case, I'm going to let her run the show. But you guys kind of like keep that in mind. If she doesn't show up, that you remind me I do twice the questions, so we can do that. So okay, so we have Nine of Sky. That, I guess, describes this anxiety, that describe like things that maybe we've been through. Maybe we have lots of things on our plate. Maybe we are feeling, oh gosh, we need to kind of like start something fresh. Maybe we start doing something, that kind of things, right? So that kind of like came as a general thing. All right, so the very first sign is ta-da, 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 meow meow. I would not be surprised if we see Miss Kitty here showing up. Matrix is sleeping on his back over here. So let's see, is this going to really, I have a huge delay. There's a huge delay. For example, I'm doing things in 2 programs simultaneously, and it still did not transfer over here. This is completely bizarre. Come on, YouTube. Maybe they're like also affected with the weather. Okay, I don't know what's going on. It's just simply not getting to where it should be. So, is it? Is it? Oh my gosh, this is really totally bizarre. It's almost like I have 4-minute delay. So it's going to be hard for me to make stamps about it, because I have on my end, trust me, I already did it, and I was ready to start Leo reading. So let's do Leo for this week. What's going to be, and it's freezing. Let me just try to refresh it again. Refresh it. I have never seen this bad, never. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Viewers will experience buffering. You know what, let's continue, and hopefully it's going to get better. So Leo, you have good kitty. Then I really hope, guys, you can follow. You have 7 of Sky reversed. And then you have 5 of Earth reversed. Now this is really interesting. There's like something extremely karmic happening for you guys. And what I'm basically seeing over here, when you get this good kitty or judgment card. Okay, Celia, I just got this Libra Sun. Lenormand. Okay, that's going to be the 7th sign that I'll read. So Leo, this is really talking about you have been through thick and thin. Things have been kind of like difficult, right? But there is like really time for evaluation. It's almost like, okay, so let's draw the line over here. Let's see what good you did, what bad you did, and what comes on top over here, right? So this is sort of like reaching something new. It's kind of like purging certain things that maybe kind of like stopped you. Maybe certain things hindered you in the past, right? It is about some kind of renewal. I also feel Leos, or anybody who has Leo in there, good morning, Stephanie. If you guys don't know how to find out, here it is, and maybe somebody can pull it up for everybody, how to get and we have it, how to get your natal chart to see all these other aspects that you should look into that. I have Moon in Leo, so that always messes me up because it's opposite to my own sign, which basically means that I have been born during the full moon. Lucky me, right? And it's going to, hey, Barbie's here. There she is. Barbie, we have major issues with delay, and hopefully it's going to improve. So Leo, it really tells me that there was like some kind of situation where you felt constrained, where you felt it was really difficult for you to even move even a little kind of like finger forward, right? They're kind of like there has been a thing that has been very karmic. This is one of my karma cards. Seven of Sky is like that betrayal, ultimate betrayal card. Look at the kitty. The kitty is like so excited, looking into something, looking maybe in the future. And this is what I want. But then, you know, you basically are betrayed. Somebody's like taking the very little that you had over here. And that's kind of like really, I really think it's a reflection over here in how you dealt with this. Most of us don't really deal with issues in the best possible way. I'm trying to also do the camera. But it looks to me that you are being rewarded for dealing with certain things in an extremely spectacularly nice and classy way. Like Five of Earth over here tells me it could have been that somebody left you in a dust, in a dark, and that has been really, really difficult for you to even comprehend this. But this is now reversing, just like Seven of Sky, even though it is the card of betrayal. To me, when this reverses, it's like aha moment, when all of a sudden, like this whole turmoil that we feel and think, and it's bothering us, and these thoughts that are repetitive all the time happening, all of a sudden you go, wait a minute, it's sunshine outside. What the hell am I doing, right? It kind of like creates this huge shift, right? And there is like this acceptance of the issues, there are like challenges, and it's kind of like readiness to move into this next stage and kind of like deal with things in a completely different way. I even think that sometimes it's really talking about, hey, you know, I'm leaving everything kind of like in the past. Oops. And I just really don't want to deal with this anymore. It's kind of like has this kind of like feeling. Five of Pentacles, it's telling me that this could be related, that this kind of can talk about some individual from the past, but this can also tell me that I don't know, like, I mean, maybe there was like a monetary issue that was affecting you, and that you felt, you know, that, oh, how will I recover? It is really, really difficult. But this is really telling me, like, now your spirituality, your confidence, you know, opportunities, they're like everything being really renewed, right? And it's like really something that is going to be happening in a really, really good, fashion. So let me get a little bit more, and I really hope this is going to improve. Streamlined, go to live. I wonder if this is because they switched the interface for us in the background, so I cannot even shift the camera or anything because I have to wait 5 minutes to see what they did and how that looks like. So let's see. Leo. Ooh, foe. And foe is reversed. See, this deck, Gypsy deck, has two cards that would indicate, well, actually more cards, like, I mean, but two very strong, let's put it, position cards that indicate a third party, and that would be foe, and that would be enemy, right? Foe is generally a female that maybe is coming in a way, a rival, you know. It could be somebody who is separated, divorced, or somebody who is intending to have something really serious with your partner, right? Somebody who wants to break up a relationship. And it's like clearly somebody who may have been a friend. Look at, she's like almost like coming under guise of dark and entering over here, right? Yes, Steve, I did see yellow right now instead of red. So yeah, they're saying extreme health improved a little bit. Sorry about it. This reverse, guys, so this is really talking about that you also have to watch for something coming your way. There is like somebody who could be either a dangerous person or somebody who maybe already did damage in your life, because it looks to me that you are recovering from something. And it can really talk about also that this obstacle or enemy have been removed, that you kind of like reach this full clarity, and you know that some kind of event or person that has been interfering with your life is now removed, right? And they kind of like seen you as a target. And I really think when Leo is seen as a target, they take advantage of your generosity. They kind of like feel, hey, you know what? Like, I mean, these people are giving me so much. I just want to stay around so I can see how much more I can get. And it really, really, really sucks. So that is Leo. Let's put the cards back. Any questions here? So hopefully it goes better and better and better. So the next sign is going to be Cancer. Let's see what Cancers are going to do this particular week. So how it's going to happen for them. And again, Barbie, you're going to hell of the time. It's really hard for me to do timestamps because of enormous delay. So I cannot wait 5 minutes for this to show and then read, because you guys would just lose it, right? But I can have a sip of coffee in the meantime. All right. So now we are going to go with Cancer. Oh, you're hearing Cancer, but I'm still seeing the old thing over here and not where I'm at. So I'm confused now. Maybe it's my computer that is messing it up, not yours. All right, so let's see this. Cancer. Refresh that, maybe that's going to help. 25. Cancer has Six of Earth. You guys are always in the sixes. Ace of Sea. You guys are dealing with someone who is also taking advantage of you, possibly financially, or wanting to take advantage of you in one way or the other. I think this is why you have like these Six of Pentacles reversed, because look at what lovely scene we have in the upright version of this card. Like, I mean, the kitty is allowing the mother and her kittens to come and saying, hey, come in, come in. Yes, there's plenty we can share, right? It's enough for everybody. It's plentiful. It's like when kind of like water flows, kind of a thing, you know, the ocean is not going to run out of water, kind of a thing, right? But this whole empathy and charity can turn into selfishness and greed and maybe being judged. So whether or not this was you, and we are going to clarify this, but I kind of like don't think it was you, because that's why you have this Ace of Sea. Maybe it was you. Maybe you have kind of like, because you do have Cancers, right? They have this armor, and maybe you have felt that you have to stay on the sidelines, that there's like something that can hurt you, or you really didn't trust entirely. And this is really kind of like really, really important, because hey, Ace of Sea, guys, somebody might be showing up. The same person. This could be the person from your past. Sixes are bringing lovers, and they're bringing lovers who sometimes, you know, you're expecting for that equality and that kind of like flow back and forth. And you just like feel you are the one giving and giving and giving, and they're just taking, and they have no problem with that whatsoever. But at the same time, there is like something about that situation that you're missing this person, and obviously this person is really not that bad, right? And that's why we have Five of Fire. Five of Fire is, to me, could include quite a few people over here that is kind of like involved in the situation. So I think we are talking about 4 or 5 people that are maybe affected. Maybe you're having your friends and you're getting chatter from the side. It's kind of a whole bunch of stuff happening. What I really like about that, this is kind of like friendly banter, and it is kind of like, no, you do like me, trust me, without me you're going to be disaster, right? When you kind of like say it laughingly, but you do put your foot down, kind of a thing. And you guys have this like enormous, like, I mean, sense of humor, and no wonder I ended up marrying a Cancer, like, I mean, enormously sexy sign, right? Of course I also divorced him, but that's a different story. So this really can talk about it is upright, that there's like, I mean, victory, it's a confidence of some kind of like sort, because look at this, I mean, there's like this feeling of also something karmic coming in balance, but it's also feeling at some point that, hey, do I really want to move forward, and in which kind of direction I really want to move forward. So this is all good so far that I see. So let's see over here. Let's see. I'm glad to hear that, Steve. That one wants to come. Oh my gosh. We're getting foe again. But in this particular case, the foe is upright. And when foe is upright, like, you are not so much resolving the situation. It's kind of like somebody who is possibly creating situation. This could be simply talking about his partner, or this could be somebody really, really close to you. It could be a friend, right? But it could be also a female enemy, maybe somebody who wants what you have, kind of a thing. It can be a really fake friend who is with you for, I don't know, maybe social reasons, or they really want to get somewhere, or you represent something for them. It's really interesting, right? Be very careful about this person is dishonest. This can be office gossip as well, right? And I don't know, this also can talk about health issues, or somebody's creating distress because you maybe are very willing to trust. Maybe you're feeling that there was like an issue with your partner that maybe never existed, that somebody presented to you, that this is kind of like what it was, right? You see, enemy card is like somebody who is hidden, but this person is out in the open, right? You know this person, right? But this is somebody who's dear to you, so you don't suspect this person. This even can be a mother, to be really honest with you, right? But there is a positive aspect to this card, because I see that, because I'm linking this with this tarot card, right? That you still have time to avoid the damage. So forewarned is forearmed, right? As they say. You simply maybe just need to kind of like recognize this is a threat and slam the door. And you don't even have to elaborate or say anything, you would just know. You need to actually really go in your gut feeling and kind of like think through it. And it's very, very, very important, right? Oh, look at that. Andy and me, we have the same kind of like thingies over here. Two Canadian gals. Kylie, you do like in excess, right? Oh, this is so cute. Sip of coffee, and the next sign, and this is a surprise, is Gemini. Gemini. So it's going to be this way, and look at that. It actually got caught up. I cannot believe it. So what happened? It could be my screen altogether. So is little Barbie going to be able to read this? Probably not. It's a chicken scratch. Let's try this way. So Gemini, let's see what is in the store for you. Guys, did you like it? Hopefully you like my my live video over here. So we have it is Sky Kitten, but I swear to you, you do know that I know these cards. I was reading this Sex Kitten, and Sex Kitten it is, and I think from now on I'm going to call it Sexy Kitten. And it is somebody who says things, generally this card means somebody who says things that they shouldn't be, and that's what Sex Kitten also does. It's kind of like, ooh, how did I get myself in this trouble, especially when this reverses in this way. So this could be, guys, this is you, this includes you, but look, check this out. You have Sky Kitten, Sex Kitten, you have Grace or Temperance over here, then you have Six of Sea, Six of Cups, and Six of Sky. Six, sex. So, and I really stand by it. I really feel that there is like some instance where you guys are really going in term of nostalgia. You guys are checking on someone, or someone is checking on you over here. There's like something past happening and brewing over here. There's something going on, and when this Temperance card reverses, it's really telling that conditions are still not there, right? It could be some kind of competition. Maybe you're really checking how to advance. This can really clearly apply some kind of like job opportunity, that there's like, I mean, position you have, and you were trying to kind of like go around and kind of like make yourself visible and make yourself desirable. But this can actually start exhibit itself as some kind of frustration, and just say to yourself like, how did I get myself in this situation, right? It is kind of like really amazing, because like this the 6 of Cups, and this is like a little bit different interpretation in this deck when they have this white tiger, and now somebody's going to react when he hears his name, kind of being worshipped, and these kitty cats are like really crazy about swimming and kind of like having a day in the sun, kind of like having this fun. This card ultimately is about some kind of nostalgia, but this can also bring you experiences of innocence, experiences of joy. This card is ultimately a reunion card. This is the person or the job that you kind of like had an eye on. But are you going to immediately end up, okay, like ruffled feathers and flying all over the place? Like, I mean, there should be really fur flying, but this is more or less like, I'm taking my ball, I'm going home, I'm done with this, and must be better anywhere but here. So there's like some kind of like instance that I feel it is like pushing in a completely different direction, right? It is like that you are finding new target, you're finding new desire, and you are moving in that direction completely. But this is also going to be very sexy week, and maybe you're going to realize, because the Temperance kind of like card is like really exactly on the other side, 180 opposite from basically Lover's card, and which is belonging to you. So that really feels, it's going to feel that you're out of your element, but it's all going to feel, well, I want something, but I don't really know what I want. It can be a very confusing attitude that you're going to have over there. So let's see this. Let's see this. Let's see this. And there is love. And that's the third one. You guys, do you have a karmic soulmate over here? Or is there somebody who has a really special place in your heart? This actually could be Sagittarius, or could be just somebody who is like so extremely bubbly, and you just like feel like, oh, with this person I will never sleep, because I just want to talk, I just want to like be with this person, right? It's like somebody who really, really enthuses you over here, right? It's, in any case, if you don't have anybody, it tells me that you kind of like already had some spark somewhere happening. It's kind of like very positive for your love life, really, really positive. So I think for some of you, clearly it's going to be stability in a relationship or recovery of a relationship. It's going to be very passionate, as I said. Did I say S-E-X? It's not in excess, but it's S-E-X in the stage, right? So I don't know what to tell you. It's going to simply be that love and happiness is really within your reach. So you need to recognize this. You need to grab this. This is actually really, really good. This specifically is applicable to Geminis born from June 9th to June 14th. It's going to be extremely strong period and very strong factor. But nonetheless, for all of you, the shift is going to be very noticeable in a kind of like very loving direction. So, hey, good for you, Gemini. So let's keep going on. Let's keep going on. You cannot hear Misonia? Try to refresh. On my end, it improved a little bit. It started to be awful, but it improved, and I'm going to refresh it again just to make sure. Our next sign is going to be Capricorn, and after Capricorn, I'll be going to Sagittarius. So let's see, that is like 30, 14. So, Capricorns, let's see. And please want it to come out. So let's do that. This one really also wants to come out. Lover. Ooh, I like where this is going. Just let me have another. You know, Steve, sometimes people don't take readings seriously. And I have to tell you something that, like, I mean, I initially started when I got my PhD working with quartz. So I was like the lowest on the totem pole. Like, I mean, I would just deal with people who just got arrested. And Canada, very much like any other country in the world, has a really bad system that people who have mental health issues are arrested and then placed in jail instead of really being dealt with properly. So as a part of it to not be as bad, they would send, you know, these people to a psychologist. And I would end up with people who basically didn't want to be in my care, who basically hated it. And I started to hate my job really very much. And I had, like, I'm in this office in a dungeon. The prison was like right next to me, and I hated it, right? And I was like also getting a little bit jaded in the situation. But that's when I started this tarot, and people all of a sudden start feeling themselves in a different way through, you know, these images, through these archetypes. And I started to feel that I'm actually really able to help people. And all of a sudden, like, I mean, people who took me seriously, they really moved forward, because clearly this is like some your chart. And people who didn't take me seriously, oh well, you know, they're lost. So good for you, Steve, taking me seriously. Trust me, if you guys take me seriously, this will go really, really far. So Capricorn, you have 5 of Sky. You have your card, Demon Cat. This is like Matrix on steroids over here. And you have like 4 of Sky over here. So 5 and 4 is going to feel like that somebody might irritate you. Look at this. We have Thief, and we have these frivolity reversed over here. And almost like this card here almost like appears like frivolity. Look at what we see. We see this like beautiful. Did you know Sphinx is a Canadian cat? But in this deck, like, I mean, sky cats are cats that they're like, I mean, alley cats. The cats that either didn't get along with their owners, or owners were very unkind and they kicked them and abused them and they ended up in the street, or simply they have been left to fend for themselves. So they have developed that really hardy attitude toward life, where they have really, really difficult time trusting, right? They have very difficult time, you know, bringing other people into kind of like their clan. In this case, there's like this sophisticated, beautiful kitty that they're clearly identifying you, because of you I'm being kicked, kind of like, even though maybe the kitty was not even, you know, guilty of that kind of like stuff, right? So this Sphinx card is not going to do very well. These alley cats are really teaming up and kind of like really storming down on this pretty much kitty. And it really talks about there's like some kind of a selfishness and tension and betrayal, and you're feeling like you are not in your element. There's like somebody betraying you. You are not able to be yourself. Maybe you're going to really feel like, oh my gosh, like, I mean, somebody is really getting on my nerves. I really want to squish them, which is very unusual for Capricorn. You're like that really composed sign that when you do something, you're kind of like able to do it. But also when we kind of look at just the Demon Cat or the Devil reversed, it's really telling me that you are starting to get a feeling that certain things were not healthy. That, hey Black Kitty, hi, come, baby. I just have the card that has you over there in the card. Yes, mister. Yeah, mister. You pretty boy. You kitty. Oh, look who else is coming. Look who else is coming. Oh my gosh. Look who else is coming over here. Oh, we have a love scene over here. Oh, somebody's tired. There you go, guys. Somebody decided to show up. Isn't this lovely, Ms. Thing? So Capricorn, this is very encouraging. This is really telling me that you really need that soft place, because maybe you have been the one who have been segregated in one way or the other. Maybe, something that was rightfully yours was taken away from you. This could be a partner, and this could be a position. This could be status of some kind of like kind. And you're like feeling burdens. But you see, when this demon cat reverses, it's also talking about you are totally freaking getting it. You're totally realizing that you maybe need to come up with a completely different strategy, right? And it almost like there is like some kind of shift that is happening, that you're going to say to yourself, okay, whatever it is, I have to deal with this. I was not given silk, I was given burlap, but this is the material I have been given, so I can't expect silk, and I have to really deal with this. Yay, I have the green for live stream right now. And when this card, for example, frivolous, really shows up, when this like little pretty butterfly is reversed, it's considered a really positive card, right? So this is really telling me that there's like the ending of this feeling of being betrayed, or feeling, that something has been superficial, or somebody has been irresponsible, right? It's really talking about, that this could refer to some kind of past event. The devil also can indicate third party and somebody influencing, and it can always talk about appearance of the old partners, but it looks like you're going to take a completely different attitude. Look at that lover boy attitude. It's going to be flirtatious. It's going to be like really situation where you're going to say, I'm tired of freaking everything, everybody leave me alone and f off, kind of a thing. It's kind of frustration, and it's going to be really strange thing. In that moment when you're fed up, we don't want to deal with the world, we don't want to deal with people, somebody is going to appear, and somebody's going to be flirting with you, and somebody who really means well, and somebody is going to turn your entire attitude around. And this is going to be really lovely finale of this week, guys. So it's going to be really nice over there. So that is Capricorn over here. So let's see, we have somebody else. Kimberly Tapley, hello, good morning. Oh my gosh, you guys are in this hurricane. Like it was lucky that it really didn't go land, right? But it's just amazing how this global changes are affecting. I mean, they're coming to in Canada. That's really rare, right? And especially with that strength. That means the oceans are getting really much warmer, right? Yeah, Bahamas. I remember, like I was in Bahamas several times in Nassau, and it just looks like huge devastation. Okay, I really need positive energy over here. So next one is Sagittarius. So let's see from this point of Saggies. So let's see what's going on over here. Saggies. I like the little busy bee, Barbie. It's really freaking cute. Kimberly, I really hope it's getting better, and I mean, this is really nice to be, thankful for what we have, even though if it's messed up, because how much worse it can be, right? So Saggies, ooh, we have Earth Queen. Saggies, this one also wanted to come out. Ooh, you're getting earthy kind of things, the Hermit. Oh my gosh, I just dreamt about you, Sagittarians, and this is the same thing. What is going on over here, Sagittarians? Are you dealing maybe with earth signs? Taurus and Virgos are really highly positioned over here, or you're simply dealing with this energy of that you really need some kind of luxury. I really feel this is going to be a little bit of a spoiled week. You're going to really want to spend time with yourself, for yourself, and pamper yourself. Even though there's going to be somebody who will be really demanding and in your freaking face, and this could be your significant other. I'm going to announce I need to work. I'm closing the door, nobody bothers me kind of a thing, or maybe spend extra time at work, right? And then the Empress reversed, because both of these cards are talking about a very, yeah, let's call it clingy energy, right? Energy where you feel that somebody is like making demands that you clearly cannot meet and you never could meet them. And it can kind of like feel disconnected. You might also feel rebellious. You might feel that you're resisting, what this person wants. And well, it does sound like Sagittarius, doesn't it? Right? It's just like, you do not rule me. I can kind of like hear you thinking that, but you're trying to maintain the outward appearance of, it's cool, I'm cool, everything is cool. But keep in mind that people pick up on your body language, that you really have to watch it, right? Because there is like a little bit of reclusive quality over here. There is like, but also it's really good. Like, you are going to feel there's like some kind of imbalance, and that maybe something that is going on in your life is, I don't know, superficial. There's like some kind of like sense of martyrdom. Am I pronouncing this martyrdom? Martyrdom. Ugh. Martyrdom. Martyrdom. Kind of like the sense of feeling that, there's like no energy, there is no creativity in all of that, right? Very much like what they see in the Empress card over here. So I really feel it's going to be really that manifestation. It could be somebody who is a mother, but it could be your mother or you are the mother, and it's kind of like needing to kind of like get more grounded. So these are very, very strong cards over here that are showing up, and they might kind of like bring this whole situation to that standstill where you, I don't know, you guys you might be thinking about somebody from the past. You might be also having two different people, and these two different people, you think the both of them were not good for you, and this one demanded this one wanted to be the princess. One maybe has children, another one doesn't have children, and you're saying, just leave me alone. It's kind of like really, really hard to kind of like do it, right? So let's check this over here. And you have the House, and it is reversed. To me, this card is always a mysterious card when I see it, because clearly we would be really happy to have a house like that. This more or less to me looks like a bank or something that is kind of like generational, right? And this card can symbolize either a physical place or that personal epicenter of kind of like your emotion, where you feel secure, where you close the door and this is just your space, right? And this kind of like really fits well with this hermit and him climbing to this branch and saying kind of, everybody kind of like, just leave me alone, right? So it does tend to be negative when it is reversed, and it can talk about a breakdown in family relationships. There could be some kind of like quarrels over here, or dealing with possibly people who are distant, or who are divorced, or somebody is going to really talk about putting a line in the sand, and hence it can signal maybe the end, and it can talk about dissolved partnerships and even broken engagements, and also the kind of like there is like some kind of failure of the enterprise, and hence this kind of like cushy feeling is off. So you'll be spending lots of time thinking how to move forward, in which direction, and that's, I really have to say, that something is going to really hit close to home. And honestly, like we were talking about Bahamas, and I really think that's kind of like what he describes as destruction. So where is my home? How do I get to my home? And what means my home? Those existential questions that really rarely happen in life will be actually happening to you very, very frequently. So Sagis, you need to really brace for an impact over here, like this particular week. Aquarians, you're next. And you are also Aquarians next in my monthly reading, which I have to reorganize everything today and do the readings over the weekend, but that's okay. So I'll be not working 5 days. I'll be working 2 days, like a dog. It's just like you cannot connect with people properly. So aqua girls, aqua boys, any aqua over here. So let's shuffle the cards. Oh, you're in South Carolina. Well, Toronto shouldn't be affected, even though they said that we are going to get rains, and I don't even understand why and how they are connecting that with Dorian. They're saying that Dorian is so big that actually entire Toronto, which is huge, it's the third biggest city in North America, just after Mexico City and New York, would fit in the eye of Dorian. This is how huge it is. So I guess one of those outskirts will still bring this rains and winds possibly. Okay, so Aquarians. Ooh, what is this? And how do I look at this? We have 4 of Earth, 3 of Sea, we have 3 of Sky, and then 9 of Earth. Aquarians. There is a feeling of people breaking and affecting your dreams. It's 3 of Sky, like 3 of Swords. And look what we see, all these cats are walking, and like, I don't know, like, it's not really clear immediately, but if you like pay attention, there are all of these objects, and you know how cats are, they walk by and then ting, off you go off the table. And then we have a little clue over here, like there are lots of broken pieces over here, guys, right? But also the wind chime is over here, almost like it's standing still. So it's kind of like still not wind of change, right? And there is like this crystal over here that Kitty is like feeling, well, you know, I'm just going to crack it down and see what happens. So this card right here that I focused on, it can talk about feeling rejected. It can feel things are not going our way. It can be some kind of like deception that is really happening. And I really think that there is like, I mean, either financially that we are feeling let down, because here we were like holding on and saving, and then maybe open our purse too much, and maybe even spending money on the other people, on our friends, or almost like on unnecessary things as well. But it almost like feels that we had a new focus, that we had new goals, and that somehow that vanished or got forgotten in the process. And it's for some reason I'm feeling this can mean 2 things. It can either mean that we're disappointed with someone. It doesn't have to be necessarily a partner. I would more or less say a friend or a family member, and there is like a feeling of, you know what, I am not even going to repair the situation. I'm just simply moving forward, right? Because this is to me a clue, like 4 of Earth. For those of you who hate reverse cards, this is a lovely card to get, because here this kitty, like, these are my toys, don't touch my toys, don't you dare touch my toys, right? But here is saying, well, let's play. It's much more fun when I share, kind of a thing, right? And then we're getting this another clue here. Like, I really like this 9 of Earth. 9 of Earth card to me tells me, okay, I know who I am, and I have to look into myself and how to improve myself. But in the meantime, right now, look at this. The kitty is like so cushy over here in these beautiful gardens, and there is like some kind of sense of luxury and success and reward. So it's going to actually turn out that in spite of the appearances that it kind of look like things are not doing well, things are not working out, and quite frankly it can be a part of big chunk of the week feeling this way, things are going to be well. We are going to land on our feet. This is kind of like an essence of, okay, you know what, I need this time for myself. I need to kind of like figure things out, and I'm enjoying myself. So this could be something as simple as manicure and pedicure, and just like saying, okay, go crazy, I really need that. Or it can be something even big. Like, I mean, for me, I'm already feeling this. I just like went on a shopping spree not to really expensive store to basically IKEA. Got new comforter and the new and in Winners. I don't know if you guys have this Winners and Home Sense in your countries. Got some really nice luxury you know, sheets. And instead of me enjoying, right now cats are enjoying, but I think I'm going to jump on board and do that as well. So let's see. Woo! Well, I got 1,000,001 cards. So let's grab these three, because these three kind of like came together, and the widow was on the top of this over here with surprise. So I think, Aquarians, for some of you, there are like issues that have been very painful. There are issues that are causing really deep turmoil, and we are not the sign that really wants to dwell on our emotions, but sometimes we get stuck on it like the old gramophone and just keep jumping and repeating and repeating and repeating. And I really think this is what is really showing here, because look what we have here: love, room, and despair. So it just kind of like shows almost like freaking deterioration of something. There was love, there was like intimacy, and then there was betrayal or jealousy, or somebody just really didn't want to do that. So there's like this essence over here happening that it almost like feels like that we are getting mature. We are not this like Peter Pan anymore, and we are kind of like now understanding, okay, maybe, you know, I'm not this butterfly continuously flying and chasing after this love, and whatever was, whoever hurt me, it has to belong to the past. And almost like going to be, I'm seeing this as completely two parts over here, a complete realization of what is the best way to condition and to position our lives, and that is going to make us feel very happy and very accomplished. And it's kind of like a completely different approach, where maybe we have been triggered with people who kind of like pushed us in a state of mind that was not good for us, that kind of like made us angry, made us triggered, made us sad, same emotion, right? And that we were kind of like circulating in the same kind of like soup, and now we are saying no soup, no more, and we are moving into something that we know we can create, we know we can organize, we know we can control, and we know we will feel right and comfortable, and so we will. So that's pretty interesting here for Aquarians. So before I mess all these cards, let's kind of like put this in here. So the next one is Libra, and seeing is Sally still here. Hi Chris, how are you? Okay Chris, I did Capricorn. You can go down to 3412 and you will find Capricorn. Yeah, it was really interesting Capricorn reading. So right now I am going to do Libra, and if Sally is here, I'm going to do a little bit more, and I'm going to do Lenormand as she actually asked for it. Oh, Barbie. No, Barbie. Barbie's right. Barbie's saying stop it and demanding the reading for the room. So let's do that. You guys think of the question, and I'm going to pick up the deck. What kind of deck? Well, I want to pick it up over here. Okay, I'm going to pick up this deck, Cosmic Tarot, and shuffle the cards. And you guys think of a question. Let's do this. So it's going to be door number 1. I'm going to cut the cards so even I'm not going to see them. Door number 2 and door number 3. So let's remove this and give you the answers. Sip of coffee first to make it more interesting. So this is door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3. Queen of Wands. Some of you have asked here for a very particular person, and you need something that really depends on other person. This person could be a fire sign, or simply there is like a need of some kind of action, a need for some kind of activity, right, to kind of like push this forward. And in that respect, it is really kind of like important how you're dealing with this, right? So I would say the answer here is yes for you guys, and that person will come through. Ta-da! The door number 2 is Six of Pentacles. This is a card of generosity. Look at him. He's on top of the mountain and he's clearly enjoying things that he acquired, I would say, right? And they're like different phases over here. I believe he is kind of like building in his life. Six of Pentacles is clearly give and take attitude that kind of like we can all understand from time to time happens in our relationships. And I really think that maybe it almost like feels like that you really needed somebody to come through in your life. Maybe you're asking if you're going to get a job of some kind, in which case I really definitely think, you know, this is appearing. It's appearing above you, right? If you're asking for a gift, or if you're asking communication, if you're asking for some kind of indulgence, this is all going to be there, right? And I also think that this is clearly success, and the Hierophant being underneath, it could be about some kind of commitment, something that is going to last a long time. So the answer is yes, and the answer is also that something really karmic is happening over here in the situation. Woo! And door number 3 is also yes. We are on freaking fire today. So Queen of Wands was yes, King of Wands was yes. It's kind of like also depending on the other person. You're possibly also asking, you know, how do I move from here? How do I go in a different direction, right? So King of Wands is a little bit more proactive, like, I mean, because he's like more or less extroverted, while this is more introverted energy. Like maybe you're trying to get information from a woman or somebody who's a little bit more closed in, and you really don't know what to expect, where this person is going to be clear, and this is what they want. So it's going to really feel cool and successful. So yeah, that was it. And so I guess now we can move to Libras over here. And is Silly Jen, she's still here? There you go. So let's do this. Am I lagging again? Let's hope not. And let's do it. Put this together. And I'm going to refresh the screen. And you picked 2, Kimberly. Well, that's kind of wise, but it can be tricky as well. So Libra is getting very special reading. I don't know, Barbie, you were not there, right, when Silly Jane said, well, I also want Lenormand. So there we go. Oh, Andy picked all 3. So no doubt for you, Andy. Ooh, Libra, there is like 8 of Sky. There is like a feeling of constraint, and there is like maybe even a little panicky feeling. Well, that you're in a situation where you really feel it's kind of like really difficult to push things forward, right? Look at the kitty. Like, I mean, what is going through this kitty mind? Almost like she looks like Safi, this kind of like gray colors, right? And there is like this branch, and like you're feeling captive, and the more it struggles, the more it's going to get scratched and injured. And she's feeling, oh my gosh, these birds are going to attack me and pull my eyes out. I have to freak out, right? You know how cats are like swarming, right? And the key over here to understand is like, just calm down. You need to think through that strategically. That's why you're an air sign. You kind of like really need to look into that this way. And then you have like 6 of Fire, and this is about victory, right? So clearly both of these cards are talking about victory. I don't know if Libra, you're dealing with Sagittarians over here, and to some extent, or I guess with Virgos, that can really talk about that. But this is also telling me that there's like this essence of that you really wanted to obtain something, you really wanted to achieve something, and that you will achieve something, but you're going to feel like not exactly the way you felt you would feel, right? So I don't know how to explain this better. Sort of like you want to treat yourself when you buy yourself ice cream, and you want this like, oh, this feels so nice and creamy, but instead it doesn't. It's just like when I got my pistachio ice cream and they put like a little hot pepper in it, and it's like, oh, that's really not what I had in mind. So it's going to be something that is going to be feel kind of like really weird, right? So that's kind of like going to kind of like really affect. And you're getting the lady and you're getting the sun reversed over here. So if you are a woman, clearly this is really talking about ladies and the attitudes and how to kind of like pull things together. And the sun is like extremely positive card in this deck as well. It is really talking about enthusiasm that really needs to happen in order to obtain. I also think when I combine these two cards, it is really talking about that some light has been shed on some issues. Maybe you have been waiting for results of something and it started to feel, okay, I have to take these matters to my own hands. Like the lady is like also very, very good card. And sun, upright or reversed, it's still the same. In fact, it's maybe even better when it kind of like gets a little bit reversed, because then you don't get really burnt out. You're kind of like pacing yourself in a kind of like really different way. And your gypsy card is despair. And that's possibly is linking to that Eight of Sky, which basically should be the only card that needs to be clarified. Who got it? Was it Aquarians that got it, right? This despair is like really somebody who is like at the end of that rope. But like, I mean, this is like where it basically sometimes gets to this point that, and Eckhart Tolle speaks about it all the time. He said that he has been very troubled, that he had lots of issues. He couldn't find himself among his peers, in his family, and then he simply just broke down. And he was describing the event being on a park bench and just falling asleep and thinking he has died. Instead, he woke up and started seeing things in a completely different way, right? So this card is sort of like talking about that energy where there is maybe some kind of humiliation, or somebody, you know, or loss of faith, or things really, you didn't do things the way that you could have, kind of a thing, right? So it could be a little bit destructive environment and destructive behavior that is maybe lingering, but it's coming back to some kind of like point where it's understanding that something has been unhealthy, and it's really kind of like focused on how to kind of like deal with the situation. So maybe it's going to be a touch of a difficult time, but I would really say that if you do, that you need to at this stage look at your own fears, your own obsession. Maybe you have a jealous partner over here and kind of like need to kind of like figure out what the hell are they doing, kind of a thing, right? So maybe sadness and negative emotions are coming to the surface. You need to kind of like deal with that behavior. It's not comfortable when you're dealing with this, but you know, coming into this hermit mode with the sun, it's clearly kind of like coming back in the zone, coming back to that feeling of understanding what's going on and overcoming your own issues and your difficulties. So I would say, Libra, this is actually very, very positive over here. So that was my Libra. Let's put this back. Any questions, guys? Okay. So let me click the icon. So we have the next one is going to, oh, I clicked something wrong. I clicked the wrong link. Come on, where it is. Next one is going to be Scorpio. And after Scorpio, we are going to have Virgo. So let's start. Right down. Hopefully it's going to help Barbie. Barbie, I didn't put the doors, so that is a discovery. But Scorpio, welcome, Silly Jane. Holy moly, Scorpio! I'm getting like a bundle over here. So this one was first. It's a 4 of C. It's a kind of energy of lethargy, of possibly boredom. It kind of like came reversed. So let's see them all to comprehend. Then we have 7 of Seeds. Silly Emotional Fire King. And oh, the stars. 10 of Sea and 2 of Earth. Okay. So your life cannot be perfect. Just let you know. Like, I mean, your life is going to be pretty good, but you know, like, you'll still have to understand that you are simply a human just like the rest of us. So let's go, like, I mean, one by one card, but you know, generally this is Wine Tarot. You one by one card, and this is what I placed on my website. I don't know if you guys, if you checked my reading 3 cards, and if you're in my newsletter, I also did Celtic Cross for these extra people. They can give you individual slices, but this is like saying, well, you have a bread, you have peanut butter, and you have a jam. So if you really think of a bread, it just doesn't give you a good feeling, or maybe just, you know, jam is like too much, but like altogether it's completely different thing, right? So that's how tarot really should be read, and it's really important over here. So over here I am seeing there was like some kind of like hint of either depression or separation of some kind, but it's not nothing serious, because like you have the stars and you have 7 of Sea over here right next to it, which really tells me that I don't know, maybe, and I do feel that there is like some kind of juggling of things. It could be like the family getting in the way. It could be that people are pulling you different directions, maybe children, maybe partners, maybe ex-partners, lots of things really happening. But you guys, in your own head, looks like you have a new partner on the horizon, or a partner that you're dealing with who is this like Fire King, King of Wands, which is like a really lovely thing, because hey, let's do things. It's like not like let's sit at home and drink and eat popcorn and drink pop or soda, as the Americans call it, right? It's kind of like, let's go to the movies, let's go dancing, let's go and see a band, let's go, you know, to a salsa club. It's going to be really be fun, and you're going to feel like very enthusiastic. You're going to really feel like you have shaved an age of your own biological years, that you feel like really different, right? So it's kind of like going to feel really kind of like uplifting over here. And the stars card is like about you saying, oh my gosh, this feels right, I kind of like deserve this, right? It's going to feel really mature, and because it feels mature, you're not going to start feeling, oh crap, you know, like, why am I now not feeling like my best 10 out of 10. You're going to understand, yeah, they're like modulations and ups and downs. Somebody might be dropping some balls over here, right, at toward the end of the week, and somebody could be, as I said, close by to you, or somebody with whom you have frequent exchanges, because 2 of Earth really kind of like reversed can talk about juggling energy to some kind of like extent. So it's very interesting. Well, Steve, this is a transitional position that you're having. It is like about some kind of commitment that maybe should be happening, but at the same time it cannot be committed without Steve asked if 1331 has a meaning, but commitment cannot happen unless you let go of something. So not everything can kind of like go in the pile. So you guys have service, and I was like generally clarifying these 2 cards because I really wanted to see what is really happening in the way. I think it's becoming obvious that maybe other people are not willing to help you. You're kind of like being left to your own devices, right? So here, if you really look at this card, it's, what is this name for this person? A footman, right? Or doorman, right? So opening this door of a carriage, right? So I guess with his hat in hand, he's greeting somebody coming through, right? Over here. So I really think this kind of like can be, it was reversed, right? That suggests that help is not going to arrive, but you might also have somebody who is difficult, who is purposely being difficult, right? Or two-faced, maybe unfaithful friend, or somebody. Maybe it could be a little bit of disloyalty, right? I don't know, maybe it can be something motivated with greed, but it looks like you're going to have almost like there are two directions that I feel here, that somebody's like waking you up from the sleep and says, let's get going, get your shoes, get bowls, let's kind of like do stuff, where the other person is maybe almost like stopping you of having this too much fun because maybe they are not included over there in some things. I would just say here that no matter what happens, guys, it would be good to kind of like accept whatever the result is with gratitude and kind of like be mindful. Maybe this person is dealing with their own jealous feelings over here because, when we are very happy, we always forget that there are lots of unhappy people, and then seeing other people's happiness. And that's why on YouTube you have people shredding other people down and leaving nasty comments just out of sheer unhappiness that stems from inside. So let's just take it for it is. Just say, it is you. I know where it's coming from. I understand. And don't take this personally. So that is really, really important message to understand over here. So the next one, as I said, is going to be Sister Virgo. So let's do this. Okay. Virgos, what is in the store for you? After Virgo, I'm going to have Pisces and Aries. Virgo, you have grace. And it's reversed. The Temperance is reversing in your case. Oh, 3 majors. Okay, Virgo. Okay, Virgo, let's talk. There are 2 reversed, and the moon is in the middle, and then you have good kitty over here reversed. Virgo, it is going to be difficult. There will be some emotional things that will be brought up. I feel there will be lots of jealousy. I feel there will be lots of you promised that. What's up with that? It'll be lots of, oh, come on, right? Like, I mean, we can make it work, and then other people not kind of like meeting you halfway, or even trying to meet you in a little bit, right? And moon card, the moonlight is kind of like standing over here strongly as kind of like quote unquote upright. It's really talking about transformational energy. Moon goes through all these phases, right? So it is maybe a time of metamorphosis, guys. And I mean, Pisces, after all, this is a full moon in Pisces. Oh no, sorry, this is Virgo. And let me see, 9 minus 6, that's it. You're connecting to Pisces. That's why this is showing up. This is the same tangent for Virgo Pisces. And this is really probably talking about your shadow self and lessons that sort of like talk about the shadows. It's like almost like cleaning the dust in your own kind of like soul, in your own spirit. If we are entering this like full moon, I think tomorrow, and it's in Pisces, and you're going to feel like, oh my freaking God, like things are really affecting you. They're affecting your awareness, they're affecting your answers. You might be more jumpy, more easily provoked. You will feel like that shoe doesn't fit kind of a thing, right? And almost like you might feel that there is like a blame, that you're kind of like blaming other people, because you see this Judgment card. It is a karma card. It's really telling that you need to resolve something, you need to deal with this, and something is going to feel that the everything and the stars and everything is against you. It's going to feel like no matter what freaking you do, you lose. And this is exactly the point of this exercise. Just think about it. Look, this is telling you, okay, let's see what Virgos do when we go through this, right? So don't have the self-doubt. Don't feel rejected. Don't feel that you are blocked. Don't feel you're stagnated. How about taking this chin on and say, okay, bring it on. Let's see. So let's kind of clarify this like Temperance and good kitty, and to see oh my God, false kitty. We got falseness. And I mean, all these 3 cards are really also talking about falseness. And the only thing I don't like is that the kitty cat is getting such a bad rap over here. So falseness. I really think this is the closest to this justice, judgment reversed over here, as this card is generally in this deck a negative card. But hear me out what I mean with this. It really talks about flattery, right? And maybe somebody build you up, or you start feeling comfortable in some kind of like situation, but another person you're going to reveal as doing this same thing to everybody, and there's like no meaning, and you feel like, I mean, it was like a two-faced person possibly, right? Or some kind of like kind, right? But this kind of like reversed. So this is really talking about the end of that period. That something is coming out. The truth is coming out. The secrets are being revealed. Like, oh my gosh, you're unearthing. And keep in mind, this full moon in Pisces is purge kind of a thing. So maybe this is talking about gossip or slander, right? Or even very insincere behaviors, right? But also it might really give an answer. Maybe if you're listening to this and saying, okay, I really need an answer. I came on YouTube. I'm looking for this an answer. Sometimes people write to me and they said, I woke up today and I looked at my cat and I got a clue that cat is going to give me the answer. Like came on, YouTube, and cat tarot was offered in my recommendations. And that's how they get the answer in the video, kind of a thing, right? So next 7 days are going to be extremely important for you, because your reality, just like in this kitty, are going to be a little bit distorted. So I would just really advise you, do not make big drastic moves. Do not rock the boat, because you might be completely off and completely wrong in your opinions. That's what I'm telling you. Brace for an impact, but do not retaliate. Just observe, and I really think that would be the easiest way out of it, right? That's right, full moon is on Friday, September 13th. It's going to be, oh my god, it's really going to be something. So the next one is Pisces, and Pisces, this is the full moon in you, so it's going to be really interesting to kind of like see what happens. So let's see, Pisces. What's going on here? Ooh, and a nice thing. Oh, Hermit. What is this week going to be leave me alone kind of like mode? And people are creating troubles? That wouldn't surprise me after this week, which was intense. Oh my gosh, you're also getting majors. I know this one. Oh my gosh, 3 majors. See, that's the Virgo Pisces tangent. You cannot cheat cards. Like, I mean, cards, as I was telling you, Steve, this is unbelievable, right? And it's really, really important to kind of look into that, right? So, Hermit is, okay, I really need to pull myself out in order to get this wisdom and that decision. And it can't really happen when we are like pattering around and doing other things, because we are like really engaged with what we are doing. And like Virgo is getting Pisces kind of like feel in it, and like, I mean, now you Pisces are getting this Virgo feel in it. So it's clearly that you're going to feel like really on a slippery ground, both of these signs, right? So you really need to look inward for truth and wisdom, and kind of like qualify your decisions. I mean, we all want to do things out of enthusiasm, out of like, hey, it feels good in the moment, but try to kind of like get all the knowledge that you already have, and do not allow that outside world to kind of like distract you. You are going to get some really introspection. This card is not about loneliness. This card is like quite the opposite. It's kind of like where you look for like that space and that peace of mind. You might actually, if you're going to work, you'll be taking lunches with yourself on your own, but you also have like here elements of fire here, which your water sign, right? And the Emperor is kind of like linked to Aries, but it's really masculine energy. This could be like an appearance of somebody in your life who is kind of like take charge, kind of like type of a person. It could even be authoritarian guidance, right? So we all know Aries is when they go into a little bit ahead of myself. I always have to talk to my brother when he feels he's my father, and then it's like, click, let's talk when you kind of like behave yourself, kind of a thing, right? But this also can talk about the structure and kind of like a power and domination. There is like sort of like maybe a protector of some kind of kind, or you need a benefactor, you need a loan, you need somebody to say, come here, like I'm a soft place, I will listen to you, right? It's very important. And but it's also very factual. It's not like, oh, I'm going to pour my soul to you. It's kind of like, this is the situation I need to deal with. So it can actually indicate asking for somebody who can lend a hand if something that you need, and that is going to be a little bit of transformational energy over here, which is going to be really beneficial. You're getting the wheel, which is karma card, and wheel is saying, okay, things are actually going to end up going your way. You will get that help. Do not base and do not think that this is going to be permanent, because the wheel is spinning. As you can see, this kitty cat is eagerly waiting to put the little claws in there. So things can really change rapidly, just like as they change to your kind of like favor, they can change rapidly. But I really think this week you will be actually really enjoying various benefits over here. Room, I don't know, like, I mean, guys, you might be simply dealing with a partner and deciding what to do. A room to me is really intimate card, even though it doesn't have people in there. I don't know if they forgot to put them in, or that was the whole point over here, right? So room is like about the privacy, just like what we see over here, right? The intimacy, right? Where we receive people, where we are welcoming others, right? So it can really talk about serene moments, and it can talk about that light, that feeling. I don't know, maybe like this is a father figure or mother figure, or like even thinking, well, this is what I've been told. I mean, yesterday I just remember what my mother was telling me. Oh, you have one mouth and 2 ears for a reason. You have to listen twice as much. And it just freaking hit me. Oh my God. I hated it when she said that, but now I am actually realizing how important that was. It just like took me freaking 40 years to get it. Well, I am not the sharpest pencil in the box, what can I tell you, right? So this can actually talk about maybe just simply an intimate encounter with someone, right? Or it could actually talk, because here somebody's missing from the picture, and now maybe somebody's showing up, right? And maybe you're like retreating and reflecting in order to make sense of your situation and reevaluating relationship, right? So it is kind of like really interesting to see what's going to happen, but you guys will be happy. It's going to be the happy ending in place. So Barbie, we only have Aries and Taurus. You have anything to tell me now? Barbie girl. So since she might be working, I will announce what she probably would say. Let's do this kind of like 3 card reading. So guys, there is like another possibility. So think about the question. I'll pull 3 doors. Where did I put these cards? Over here. After all signs. Well, too late. Now we are going to do that. So oh, what is this? That is really weird. What happened? You know what? I got something that is not a card, but I am actually going to leave it here and see what you say. So we have door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3. And you will see what I mean right now. So door number 1 is this is what I got. I didn't remove these cover cards, but it kind of like stood to me that it says guarantee. Can it be more positive than this? Temperance is saying all stars are lining up. Look, nothing is clouding. The sun is coming out. The birds are flying. I can create this. And then a guarantee showed up. I didn't read anything. Should the manufacturing defect be found in this bag before it has been extensively used, we'll be glad to replace it. So maybe there was a defect over there, guys, that you had. It's kind of interesting. There is a little dot over here that I don't know what it is. And it kind of like really feels that you're able to fix certain things that maybe felt unsurmountable, and it is really kind of like clearly helping in the situation. So the answer is yes. Then number 2, we have 2 8s reversed, 8 of Pentacles and 8 of Wands. I really think that this is not going to come through this week. I think that there are like still more details that need to resurface, that need to come. You're asking for some messages, you're asking for some kind of direction. This might not happen, but this at the same time is not a no. It is just like clearly talking about delays in the energy. Ooh. And the door number 3, it's a no. Don't even go in this direction. This is really not good for you. There's a situation you're trying to put yourself that is not good for you. There's like somebody who is hurtful. There's like somebody who for some reason is not even understanding that you're really good for them. If that was a love relationship, if you're talking about job, you have lots of people possibly attacking you and gossiping about you. Be very careful of your bosses and kind of like go and fly under the radar over here in this particular week. So that would be my suggestion over here. Yeah, and it's going to be tricky for you. You see, this is why I say 1 door, so you get this kind of a clearer answer. So it's going to be some good and some bad in your situation. So let's continue. It's going to be ta-da, ta-da, it's going to be Aries. So let's check Aries, what's going on for you. Aries. Aries, you're getting cards twisting and turning, and sea kitten, Ace of Earth. And then I have 2 of Sea, and then I have High Priestess over here. Priestess. Why is that happening? You're reaching the point of some kind of indecisiveness. You kind of like it kind of like looks like you're coming from a position where things have been light and start to feel like, okay, you're finally having 2 hands on a wheel, you're finally going in a good direction, totally know where this is going, and then peep, GPS stops working, kind of a thing, right? Because all of this positioning and all of this kind of like feeling and kind of like going forward are all of a sudden somehow lost. It looks like somebody lets you down, and or you change your mind. There is like a lack of unity with someone, and this 2 of Seas, that soulmate card, which kind of like it can't talk about breakup, it can't talk about oh my gosh, you know, I don't really know if this kind of like water can flow, if it can make it work. I really like the little kisses over here, and especially when the priestess really shows up, because she's like the she's holding the secrets, she's the master of the secrets, right? And she's very cautious who she's going to let in her world. So there is like an essence, I feel, that is going to feel like isolation. It's going to feel that maybe almost like want to push things forward, but things will not happen entirely this way. It's going to be a very interesting week where you're going to experience like so many different attitudes and so many different directions that Well, good news is that you are actually putting some seeds for a long-term growth, for a long-term process. Maybe the seeds that you had were involving other people, and I do not think these people will be joining you at this stage. Maybe somebody is just like turning silent, and that's maybe what this is representing. So I just want to see these two cards, what they come up to over here. So let's go with this one. Money. But to me, this card is way more than money, right? Look at this card. If you really look at it, and you can see there's like lots of money, but there are like some books, and we don't know if there are stocks or something. To me, this card always talks about, well, also there are secrets over here in this situation, right? But it can really talk about luck and winnings and success and prosperity, right? Over here. So this open save can symbolize, that you need to really save, or, that you need access to your saving account, right? So this is a good for your financial fortune, for your physical well-being, which kind of like does relate to this Ace of Earth, right? Over here. But also, this really talks about needing to acquire something, needing to build something. It's kind of like, this is you're a fire sign, you're really starting to think like earth sign over here. And you're like re-examining these unions, and that's maybe what this is talking about. Who is staying on my list? Who is being removed from my list, right? Maybe you had gold diggers, or somebody who just really wanted to take advantage of you, right? Maybe you simply have been going through financial challenges, and like you needed a loan, or kind of like obtain capital, or you need to pay your bills over here, right? So this clearly is telling me that you're really assessing other people through very pragmatic means over here, right? And you're kind of like really looking how to ensure that there is like no such interruption in the future. There are certain things that are really, really happening over here. I also think that you might really feel that there is like somebody in your life who is not necessarily with you on the same level, and it's a disturbance, and you are not going to reach entire decision about that. You'll be thinking through what to do with the information that you have, and how to proceed over here. All right, so Riders in the Storm. So now I'm going to have that in my head as well. So the last sign is Taurus. What is up, Taurus? I mean, please start clicking on your reading. It is important, right? That I know that you're alive, that you're not just sitting still and doing nothing. Please, let's kind of like start moving this in a good direction. So, Taurus, let's do this. Last but not least, Taurus. So let's do the real shuffle over here. Taurus, 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 Taurus. Oh, that's a cute freaking. What is this, Barbie? What is that? Is that octopus? Or not clear what it is. Oh. K. Yeah, and that is clearly not good for you, whatever you ask. For Taurus, you have Five of Sky reversed. There is somebody who you're afraid of someone, and these three cards want to come out. And there we have the Hermit again. This Hermit keeps coming. It looks like we are going to be in a really kind of like a mood this week that everybody off my back. Taurus, if you have a male children, you might be dealing with them. They might be really, let's say, interesting to deal with, I would say. So you have Five of Sky, you have the Hermit, you have the Sun, and you have Fire Tom over here, right? So these energies over here are much higher energy than your native energy. And usually when you get in a higher energy, you get angry, right? You kind of like want to pick up the fight. But in your case, I think you're going to give people silent treatment. Not because you want to give them silent treatment, you just simply don't want to be a participant of this fight. Maybe you're feeling that somebody really is not there for you, is not really helping you, just like in this case I was explaining. I see this like Sphinx cat that is somehow feeling overwhelmed with the other kitties over here and clearly being chased out and inadequately prepared for the fight, that's for sure, right? So when this card reverses, right, this is the proverbial card that really shows about, okay, so let's lay down the swords, right? Let's kind of like find some kind of resolution and kind of like reach in which direction we can reach the comfort and happiness. And it could be, this also the card could be about reunions and about forgiveness. But you're really thinking through, maybe somebody is proposing something in this respect, but then you have the sun reversed with fire tone. So it could be that this could be you, that you're having this egoistic attitude over here, right? As you're looking into that, you're saying, nah, I'm just fine the way I am. I don't need anything. Maybe somebody's offering something and you're saying, no, no, no. Maybe somebody wants to belong to your clan and you're saying, no, I'm actually really, really fine. I kind of like want to keep it this way, right? Because the sun card can really talk about, when it reverses, about selfishness of some sort. You might be accused that you're selfish, right? Because after all, you also have fire Tom over there, and that is a really interesting card. It's like something that is very transient, that really doesn't stay, right? That's the proverbial Knight of Wands. So sure, there is energy and somebody's very determined, but there's like also very impulsive energy in all of that I see. So altogether, it looks like that you'll be standing on the sidelines and just observing something that is happening. It might be some communication that you will receive, especially if somebody wronged you. You might receive this apology, especially if this is a son or a male over here in this situation. And somebody might be coming with solutions. And let's kind of look more forward. But look at that. If you really look at this kitty's tail is starting to kind of like be on fire, almost like I'm smelling it, like I mean, and something is half baked over here, so it is really, really important. Well, happy birthday on Friday the 13th. Oh my gosh. And so you're getting young woman reversed, Taurus. So who is this young lady over here? So clearly this can represent somebody in your life that you have an eye on. It could be representing somebody who could be, let's say, having an eye on your partner. So it could be, a third party, but it could be simply somebody who is damsel in distress sort of a thing. Somebody who is very sweet and polite and kind of like has a completely different quality. So it's I really think there's like some kind of flirtation over here, but it's not matured yet, and that's what we see from Fire Tom over here. Or you might simply attract somebody who is younger over here, but keep in mind that maturity, which I'm seeing it like throughout all this card, is going to be a really big factor. So make sure that if you're doing something with somebody, they're not insecure, they're doing things for really right reasons. Otherwise you will find yourself, in my language we have this expression, it's horrible. If you go and sleep with kids, you kind of like wake up in a pee, kind of saying like you know what you're getting yourself into, kind of like, come on, you should be more mature, kind of a thing, right? So if there is a female that you feel is in a way, then maybe this female is a little bit kind of like a frail or unambitious, and you're saying like, how is this even possible that this type of a woman is, let's say, my competition over here? But it could be like that you are being told, oh come on, like I mean, you have to kind of like pull up your sleeves, etc. And I think you're going to be checking the source. Or lastly, you might have somebody who is really not there to stay, who is there to have good times. So if this is what you want, because I do see this like third party relationship here happening, or a really quick fling, that is a really, really great possibility in this particular week. So That's Taurus, I guess. That's what's going to be. And now Barbie is going to say, come on, Cat gave me messages for the room. So I'm going to grab a card. Grab a card before I start doing my dinner. I'm only eating 1 meal a day because I'm doing this OMAD diet, only 1 meal a day. So I make sure it's really nice. So message for the room, and let me pick up the card. Hi, Crazy Girl. But you can scroll back and see what's happening here. So let's have my scribble, hopefully send it to Barbie. And we got Metamorphosis, but it was reversed. So let's see what this is. And I really opened on that one. This is what it says. It's like flamingos and butterflies and flowers over here. There are times of chaos and darkness that occur, much like the growing pains experienced by the caterpillar who is in the process of becoming a butterfly. Hi, Savvy. There is a tendency to expect the worst when the first signs of difficulty arise. When something is taken away or unwanted circumstances come to challenge you to let go of all ideas about how life is supposed to be. You're not the victim. Rather, you're experiencing the temporary discomfort we all must go through before the beauty is revealed. I think, guys, this is just a full moon, and it's really telling us that we're already in a process of something. Maybe we were kind of like checking ourselves out. There was like a little bit of self-reflection, and it's almost like the process is completing and finishing. Right, Shafi? Are you going to say bye-bye to everybody? Shafi girl. Shafi girl. Shafi girl. Look at here. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Yeah, yes, you did bring luck to everybody. You're a beautiful girl. Yes, she's a beautiful girl. She was a real nuisance yesterday. Like, they have a very strong meow, and she didn't stop meowing. She just wanted affection for hours. It was real lovely. So thank you, guys. Thanks everybody for having Saturday. Barbie, I'm sending you my scribbles over here with timestamps. So thank you so much for your help in advance. And hopefully, guys, everybody has a nice week. Check out these readings throughout the week to see, like, if you can add 2 more cents. Until the next time, I'll let some music play, and I'll see you on next Saturday. Love you guys. All the best. Thank you guys for being here. I'll see you next week. Have a lovely weekend and even better week. All the best. Love you. Love you.